So this next question asks, why is the patent process so lengthy? And I can read a little bit of frustration into that question in the way that it's stated. And on average, it takes about 3 years to have your patent examined. Now, it can take far less than that or far more than that. So when you file your patent, it gets assigned to a technological area associated with your company. So what I find is people that file in uh, really hot areas where you might have a hard time, for example, finding employees, the patent office has a similarly hard time. So it seems as though those areas tend to have a longer backlog. Um, there are areas where there's no backlog. One of my colleagues filed a patent on a telephone pole, like literally wooden pole sort of thing. And the patent got picked up and issued in 6 months because I think that person had been twiddling their thumbs waiting for a patent to come in. So they were ready to seize on it right away. The other thing that slows down patents is an inordinate number of rounds of argument. When you file a patent at the office, you pay for basically 2 rounds ish of argument. But it's not unusual for some areas that are really tough to get a patent in to have many more rounds than that. So there are tools. We have examiner analytics that will tell you what, for the particular examiner that you've been assigned to, how many rounds of argument you're likely to have and how long it takes on average for that patent, that typical patent to get examined and go through the process for that examiner. So once you get assigned to examiner, you can figure that sort of thing out to get a better idea on when you might get a patent. You also can go online and the patent office will tell you how long it'll take for your patent to get picked up. And then you'll go through the rounds of argument. And it's typically 18 months, but it could be more or less. It's hot technology, or is it something nascent like a telephone pole? So that's the general answer. There is now the ability to speed up or slow down the process. So I have clients that often, this happened several times this year, where they were trying to push out their expenses, anticipating capital crunch. So there is a way to defer examination. If your patent is within 30 months or hasn't been 30 months since its priority date, you can file to have that put on hold until that 30-month period is over with. So you can go slow track. There's also a fast track where you generally pay about double for filing the patent application. It's about double the cost to file a patent application in government fees, and they promise to consider and kind of review it within a year. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to issue in a year because they may reject it and you may have to go through a number of rounds of argument. But I've found with that, on average, I can get a patent allowed in 6-8 months under those circumstances. So you can work with the patent office to go fast. Medium is the normal process that we talked about at the beginning of this video, or slow. So fast, medium, slow. But a lot of it is going to depend on how many rounds of argument you go, right? Are you willing to cut a deal very quickly with the examiner, perhaps with narrower claim scope, so you can get it allowed quicker? Or are you going to argue for every last bit of claim scope? And you can take different strategies. I generally, working with my clients, they want patents quickly, and so I love the fast track. Use it all the time, and I try and have as few rounds of argument as possible. And you can try and get that out of your counsel. Average is around 2 to 4 rounds of argument, but my average is around 1 round. And so there are techniques to speed it up and get your patent much more quickly. So you want to certainly convey that information to your counsel Ask for the fast track if you want the fast track, but know that you can go slower. And there are certainly many techniques to delay the process. And some of our clients want to do that between the deferred examination, or you just can slow roll it, right? Go for ridiculously broad um, scope. So you have options, and your counsel should be able to tailor the way that they go about things and use the various filing strategies at the patent office with the associated fees to take different amounts of time. So, sensing from your question, you're a little frustrated. Talk to your counsel, see if they can speed things up. Sometimes the patent's never going to issue, just an idea that's well known or something like that. Or you've gotten to an examiner that almost allows no cases. And there are certainly parts of the patent office that is true. So your particular case may be different, but you do have options. So I hope that helps. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you'll get notified next time there's a video. And we'll talk to you next time.